my first video on YouTube. I've never actually uploaded before. I filmed a look and something happened with the camera that I was using and it got like completely messed up. I was like upside down. It just didn't work out. So I kind of took a break, researched how I was going to film, what was going to happen, what look I was going to do, and I kind of did the same look, but I did it a little more subtle just to kind of start out, just so you guys could see like what style of makeup I can do. And if you want me to do anything else on here, just leave a comment. I can do pretty much any look you want. This is one look that a girl asked me to do. Shout out to Caroline Bishop. So I'm doing it for you, girl, right here. So yeah, show me some love. This is just my first time. I don't know. I'm going to get better as it goes on. Let me know how you like it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So thanks, guys. Bye. So I'm going to first start by priming my face, and I'm going to using the BECCA Backlight primer. And I always start with priming my face because just the primer really helps your makeup kind of set onto your skin, and it keeps it from like running down your face, so when you put your concealer on and other things, it doesn't kind of run all over and look like one big mess. So I put that all over my face, and I put the most where I know that my makeup comes off the most, which is right in my T-zone. But you can start by putting it wherever you want. And I'm using this primer because I've realized that this primer makes my face look more dewy rather than matte, and I'm not really more of a matte type looking person. So this just kind of mixes with my foundation the best and makes it look more dewy and my skin more moisturized. So I really, really recommend this primer. Okay, so I'm going to start with the eyes first because I will be using a little bit of glitter on my lids, and when you're working with glitter and you're working with things that could potentially like mess up your foundation, you always want to start with your eyes first, just in case you have a lot of fallout when like it comes down here, and you don't want that to mess up your foundation. So I'm going to start with just regular Scotch tape. This is the secret to all straight lines on your eyes, and you put it underneath your bottom lashes and up towards your eyebrow, and you can just stick it right on there. And I put it on the back of my hand once just to kind of get rid of like the harsh stickiness so it doesn't hurt when I pull it off. So you're going to do that. Make sure that's stuck on. Okay, now I do realize that I just put primer on my entire face, but to set my entire eyeshadow with the MAC Pro-longwear concealer. This is in shade NC15, and I don't really know why I started doing this, but I just dab this on the top of my eyes, and I just feel like it makes my eyeshadow kind of stick onto my face a little bit longer. And then I'm going to just take a regular beauty blender. I actually bought this one because it had a straight edge, and you can see it's really disgusting. I'm sorry. And I just kind of blend that all over the top of my eye. This step isn't really necessary because you did already put on primer, but I just kind of find that it helps with blending, and it makes your eyes just almost look a little bit brighter, like the eyeshadow look a little bit brighter on your eyes. So we're going to blend that out, and then I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Contour Kit, and I'm going to be using the shade Banana. And I'm just going to take any regular brush. This is actually the Morphie R5, and I'm just going to kind of set the whole top of my eye with this banana powder. Now the reason I'm doing this because I just put liquid on the top of my eye, and if I started to try to blend directly over that concealer, I would have really harsh lines, and we don't want those. So this powder is just kind of almost a translucent powder, but it gives you a little bit of a warm undertone underneath your eyes, which is what we're going for because we're using browns. And so it just kind of helps with the whole blending process and makes it easier on you. So once we're done with that, we are going to start with the Morphie 350 palette, the best palette ever. I would highly recommend it, especially with girls with brown eyes, because it has a lot of the neutral tones that you can use that'll really complement your skin. So I'm going to be going in with a regular Morphie R37 brush. I love using this blush to kind of like, I'm going to start by carving out my crease, and this brush is big enough to where it doesn't give you such a harsh line. Okay, I'm going to be starting with this color right here. It's kind of like just of a warm like taupe color, and I'm going to just start by finding my crease, and I'm not going to close my eye yet. I'm going to keep my eye open the whole time, and I'm just going to start to apply this. this will be my transition color, and this will be the color that I'll go back to if I ever need to blend anything out, or if I have a line that's not really blending well. This is going to be that color that you're going to want to come back to because it's your base color. So I'm going to do that on both eyes. And this process really, the more you put on, the better, because if you just have a little bit on and you start to try to add more colors and blend, this color won't really like help you, because you're going to want to keep referring back to this color. So mainly focus that your base color is always going to be the color that you're going to want to constantly keep using and constantly keep blending with, because that's going to be what the overall eye look color is going to be. I usually do this about 2 to 3 times depending on how dramatic my eye look is going to be. So as you can see, I'm starting to get a little definition in my eye, but not much, because my eyes have still stayed open. I don't close my eye because I don't want to go below my crease with this color. I want to stay above the crease, because if I close my eye, I kind of get a little messy with it. So just make sure you keep your eye open and your brush will kind of flow into your crease. So then I'm going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush. I'm going to be using the Morphie 330 brush. This is my absolute favorite eyeshadow brush. It's so soft, the bristles, everything just flows well, blends well. It is absolutely a must-have. Okay, so I'm going to be going in with this little bit of a darker shade color right here. And it's in the same family as the one that I just used, but it's just a little bit darker. And that's going to go, I'm going to use this color to focus more on the outside of my crease, not so much the inside, because when you bring really dark colors into the inside of your eye, you kind of start to look like you have a black eye, and no one wants that. So we're going to really focus that on the outside, keeping my eye open because I still haven't started to define my crease yet. And I'm just going to kind of blend outward and then just swoop it in a little bit when there's less product on the brush. So more product on the brush, go to the outside of your eye and then bring it in as you need to blend. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And we're just kind of bringing it in. Because if you don't bring it in, then you're just going to have a really dark area right here, and it's not going to match in here. But if you kind of swoop it in and tie it all together, it'll be really blended and it'll look really pretty when we're done. And I am closing my eye now, and that's just to kind of help me see where the top of my lid is, and for me to avoid it, because it kind of gets a little confusing over here because you can't really see. So if you close your eye right here, that's okay. Just really try not to close your eye when you bring it inward, because then it'll get really, really hard to tell where the top of your lid is and where your crease is. Okay, so once we have that down, we just kind of darkened up the outside of your eyes a little bit. You're going to want to go in with, it's more, I look at it more as a definer brush rather than a pencil brush, because it's not as compact as a pencil brush. But this is the Morphe R41, and it still has red stuff on it. And I use this to kind of begin drawing out my crease. So this is a really good brush if you like to do more of like cut crease looks. This is a really good brush when it comes to like blending out that cut crease. So I would definitely recommend the R41. Okay, so now that we have done the two kind of lightest colors in the family, we are going to go in with this dark brown right here. And this brown does have a little bit of shimmer in it. I'm trying not to use all matte colors because I will be putting shimmer on my eyes. So therefore you kind of want to do the more iridescent looking colors. Okay, so I'm going to close my eye and just kind of place that dark right on the outside. I'm not going to bring it in at all. You can do that for both eyes. And you almost want to make it look like a triangle, like almost like a winged liner. So I pull it down on both sides. And then once you have that, you're going to add more product and you're going to kind of swoop it down. And this is going to look really good, because if you just have really dark and then all white on the side of your eyes, it looks a little funky. But if you bring it down a little bit on your waterline, it looks really good because it kind of looks more of a smoky effect, and that's the effect I'm going for. So I'm just going to keep defining that with this same shade until I get to the darkness that I want. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to be going back in with that Morphie 330 brush, and I'm going to be using that same dark color. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap it once, well twice, blow a little bit of it off, and then start at my crease and kind of blend downward. The reason I'm doing this is because you want all of the look to go from dark to light, but you just don't want a really, really dark line and then just no shadow at all. So tapping twice, blowing the excess, starting at the top of our crease, and we're just going to blend downward. Make sure you're keeping your eyes open for this because you do not want this black on anywhere near the top of your lid. You want to focus on keeping the dark colors high and the light colors low. And make sure you're checking for harsh lines and make sure that everything is looking all blended. And if you ever need to go back and blend out a line, go back to your taupe color and just run that over because as you can see, it's still on the top of my lid. So it'll all blend together. Okay, so once you've kind of brought the darkness into your eye a little bit, we're going to want to really focus on defining this crease because I want the crease of my eye to be really, really dark. So I'm going to be going in with more of a pencil brush this time. It's going to be the Morphe E36, and it's basically just like the Morphe M41, but just kind of a smaller tip, as you can see. This one's a little bit bigger, and this one's a little bit smaller. This one just helps with, like, kind of drawing that crease. So I'm going to be going in with this shimmery brown right here. That's going to be my crease color. So I'm going to put a lot of product on it because I really, really like the shimmer. And I'm just going to swipe it in on my crease. And this is the product that kind of has fallout. As you can see, it fell out on my face, but that's okay because we haven't done our foundation yet. And as you can see, this line is a lot thinner than this line where my lid is not covered, and that's okay because you can go back and correct that, but it's just harder to do, but I'll show you how to do it. So we're going to go back in with the bigger M41 brush, and we're going to use this color right here that we've already used, not the shimmer. We're going to go back with the one that we put on before to kind of darken up the crease, and we're just going to kind of blend all of this together because we don't want it to just look like one big sparkly line. Okay, so I'm at the darkness that I want. I didn't really want a huge dramatic eye. So now I'm going to go back in with the Morphe 330. I'm going to go back in with our taupe color that we used in the beginning and just kind of blend at the very top, right where your eyebrow bone is. And I'm just going to kind of blend down, bringing it all together with one color on top. Now, this step isn't necessary. If you like it to look like different colors on your face, that's fine. It's your preference. But I just like all of my eyeshadows to kind of flow together as one. So that's why I do this step. And of course, if you want to go back and touch up a little bit of your glitter, if you feel like you lost that sparkle, I will be using the MAC 316 SE brush. It's a really, really thin synthetic brush. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. And I felt like I just kind of lost a little bit of that glitter, so I'm just going to go back in and kind of put that on the outer corners of my eye. Because then synthetic brushes help more with packing on glitter versus like goat hair brushes and or like plastic brushes. Okay, so I'm done with the Morphe 350 palette, unfortunately. So now I will be going in with my absolute favorite lid color of all time. You can buy it for $10. It's the MAC, what is this called? I forgot what it was called. Nylon. MAC Nylon. Y'all, this color, you can use it as a highlighter, you can use it as a lid color. Like, it is the most versatile color I've ever seen. It's so pigmented and it's so just like rich when you put it on your face that it's amazing. It just looks perfect. So I'm going to be going in with my Morphe M508 brush. It's a really, really flat brush. So what I do is I tap this on, I put a lot of product on, and I'm just going to go right on my lid. Now, I know it doesn't look as shiny right now, but I'm going to show you a trick that will help it shine. And I like to open my eye when I'm bringing it down because I don't want to take away from that darkness in my crease right here. So that's why you open your eyes so you know where the brightness needs to be. Okay, perfect. So once I have it set and I have kind of like my traced eye where I want like the shine to be, so when you open your eyes you want it to be all shine and just a little bit of smoke on the side. So what's gonna happen? Okay, sorry, I had a phone call and I had to answer it, so the video may kind of stop a little bit, but I know exactly where I was. So once you kind of have where you want the brightness on your lid to be, you're going to go back in with MAC Nylon. I'm telling y'all, once you add a little bit of like primer water, it is going to just blow your mind. So you always want to put your brush with the product on it first. Do not spray your brush first because then when you put it in the product, the water primer can kind of mess up the consistency of this. So you don't want that to happen. So put your product on it first and then you're going to spray the brush. I'm using the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. And you're going to hold it about 6 inches away and do 2 sprays. Okay? So then I'm just going to I'm not going to wipe completely, but I'm just going to kind of like pat and wipe and go over exactly what I just traced out. Now you can already tell that this is much brighter than this. So. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of wipe the tip of my brush. Make sure it's not soaking wet when it goes back in. If you want to use another brush to get the product for the second eye, you can. I just kind of run the brush across my hand, and that usually dries it because it is such a small brush. So then I get more product on this brush. Spray twice. Do the exact same thing on this side. Okay, so now you can tell that my eyes have really brightened up, but kind of it's not really blended well. And you know me with blending, so I'm going to go back in with the Morphie 330 brush. I'm not going to have any product on it just because it does already have product on it. And I'm just going to kind of run it right above my waterline. And it just kind of decreases that harsh line of whenever you open your eye, it's like, whoa, she has too much eyeshadow on. So it just kind of all like makes it flow together. Okay, so if you want to stop this look right here and not add any glitter to your face, this is definitely a look that you can do, that you can wear going out, but I am a person that really likes to sparkle and have shimmer on my face, so I'm going to add just a little bit of glitter. It's not going to be much, but it will be a little bit. So I'm using the Makeup Geek Sparkler Collection. Y'all, these glitters are so amazing. Like, they're so pigmented. You do have to use glitter glue, but it's okay. So I will be using the color Light Year. It's a frosty color, kind of. And I'm going to be going in with the Too Faced glitter glue. And I just have an old, I'm pretty sure this is from Claire's synthetic brush. You can tell it's really hard because I use it for the glue a lot. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Like, it does not take much. And I'm going to just put it more on the inside of my eye. I'm not going to really focus on the outside. I'm going to kind of stop halfway. Okay, then I'm going to open up the Makeup Geek Sparkler Light Year, put that glitter on, and tap it right on the glue. And you don't want to put the glue on both eyes and then go back with the glitter. You really want to put the glue and then the glitter only because it will dry and then the glitter will not stick. Okay, and don't worry about how this is way more shiny than this. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to show you how to fix it. But first, we just need to get your base glue down. So we're going to add a little bit of glue inside of your eye. Tap that Light Year. poke myself in the eye. Okay, perfect. So you can tell that the inside of my eyes is really bright, and that's exactly what I wanted. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to switch brushes. I just spilled the glitter. Oh my gosh. We recovered. So, now I'm going to be going in with the Bobbi Brown brush, and it's the Ultra Fine Eyeliner brush. It's exactly the same thing, but it just doesn't have any glue on it. And what I'm going to do, I can't believe I just spilled that. Wow. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to wet the brush. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to tap it into this glitter. Now, because I didn't put any glue on it, the glitter's not going to stick as much, and that's good because we kind of want the ombre effect. So we're going to kind of just tap right where it's not really that blended and kind of just bring that glitter out. So it's going to be super pigmented to a little bit to just the MAC Nylon. Wow, I have like no glitter left. It just spilled all over my carpet. Great. So, once that's done, I'm kind of done with my eyes. So I can go ahead and remove that tape. And you can see when I remove that tape, the line is really clean. And I don't have to worry about kind of like making my own winged liner. Now, I use winged liner with this look. You don't have to if you're not good at winged liner, if you think you can't do it. This is a great way to practice because you do already have that line drawn. So, I am going to put winged liner on for this look. So, but I'm going to wait. I always wait and do my liner and my mascara last because it's just the order I go in. So now that my eyes are done, I'm going to be going in with foundation. So I'm going to do a mixture today. I'm using the MAC Studio Fix Fluid in not SPF, it has SPF, but in NC20. And I'm going to just put about a drop and a little bit of another one on the back of my hand. Now, you don't want to apply your foundation with your fingers because that oil can get into your pores and really mess up your makeup and give you bad acne. So then I'm going in with the Josie Argan Illuminizer, and this is a liquid highlighter, but I mix it with my foundation to give my overall look a more of a dewy look because I do not like matte looks. And this look especially, you don't really want to go matte when you already have glitter on your eyes. So I just kind of mix that together on the back of my hand. And I'm going to be going in with the best foundation brush. I'm serious. If you need one brush, you need this. The Morphie M439 foundation brush. Guys, this brush is amazing. It will rock your world. So I'm just going to tap once. And this is going to have the most product on your brush. Now, I need the most product right here because I have freckles and I don't like my freckles. But you can apply this product anywhere you want. If you want to start in your forehead, on your chin, wherever you want the most coverage, you need to dab first and that's where you need to start. So I start by just 2 swipes. And you can see that this foundation brush applies a lot of foundation with minimal actual foundation. So I'm just going to start by blending in circles all around my T-zone. And I use circles because if you just swipe, you can look really, really closely and your foundation will create lines on your face and we don't want those. So I'm going to tap again and I go on my forehead. Now I am applying it first with lines, but then I'm going to go in and start to swirl. And you want to make sure you get in between your eyebrows because I see girls all the time that forget to blend in between their eyebrows and their foundation never gets there. So then I'm going to take the remaining product off of the back of my hand, swipe it on my chin, and around my cheeks. And make sure you're getting up in your T-zone when you're applying down here because you want your whole face to kind of look as one color. And then I just use the excess to kind of pull it down on my neck just to make sure everything's blended. And you can put on your foundation for as long as you want. Like, the more you blend, the more natural it's going to look in your skin. And better for you. Okay, so once you're done with applying your foundation, now we are going to conceal. I'm going to be using the Naked Skin Urban Decay in Fair Neutral as my concealer. And you can use different shades of concealer depending on what you want. I know a really bright under eye is really in right now, but sometimes my under eye just gets too bright for me and I never really know what to do about it. So if your under eye seems too bright for you, you feel like you just have too much focus in your T-zone, just kind of set it with some banana powder, some translucent powder, and then just swipe your bronzer over it once, and it'll kind of calm that down. So I'm going to start by just pulling it down my nose and out. And I make sure I go all the way up because you want all of this to be highlighted. And I'm not going to double dip just because this concealer a little bit goes a long way. Now I'm going to be highlighting my chin, my upper lip, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. And these are the areas where the light would naturally hit your face. So you just kind of brighten up these areas. You don't want these areas dark. Now I'm going to be going in with the Beauty Blender. It is damp from my Prep and Prime water. You can just dampen it. You don't have to. Sometimes I feel that the dry Beauty Blenders do blend better depending on what kind of coverage you want. But I don't want a really bright conceal today. So if you add water, it kind of takes away from that super duper brightness. So I am just going to blend all of this concealer out. Make sure you get in between your eyebrows. You do not want light, dark light. And this is a good time if that line messed up or your tape moved. You can kind of correct that with your Beauty Blender right now with your concealer. And you don't want to bring your concealer past your cheekbone, only because then it starts to look like your whole face is white, and we're just trying to focus mainly on our cheeks right now. Perfect. Okay, so now you can see it kind of brightened up my whole face. So now I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Y'all, this setting powder it's the way to go. I know it's a little pricey, but it really makes a difference. So I'm just going to tap my Beauty Blender in this translucent powder and just tap it underneath my eye. Now this is the form of setting all of the liquid that you just put on your face. So my foundation and my concealer are all getting set right now. And what that means is so when I start sweating or I go outside, my makeup won't run because it has this powder base coat to kind of hold it on. So I look at it more as like a glue to your face, kind of working with the primer. And you're just going to want to pat wherever you just put concealer on because we're going to be using powder on our face, and so that will set off foundation. Okay, perfect. So now that you set your concealer, I am going to now bronze and contour. So I will be going in with the Little Black Book of Bronzers by Too Faced. That's literally what it is. Like, look at all these bronzers. It's great. I absolutely love this. So I'm going to be using the Morphie E1 brush. It's a really big, fluffy, synthetic brush. I really, really like it. And I'm going to be going in with Milk Chocolate Soleil. It actually does smell like chocolate. And I'm just going to kind of put that right along your jawline. Like, kind of go to the point of your ear and down. And I'm just going to kind of bronze that area. Now, I used to not be a fan of bronzer because I didn't understand the point, but it really just kind of livens up your face. Now I'm going to be bronzing the top where you put concealer, go around it, and it'll just kind of accent that lightness on your face. And then bring it just on the top of your forehead, just a little bit to kind of tie everything together. And this is the part where if you feel underneath your under eye is a little too bright, you can just kind of swipe once and it'll kind of tone it down just a little bit. Just enough to where it still looks like you have concealer on, but you're not just like stark wide eye. So once I've kind of bronzed, I'm going to go in and contour. Now, I didn't contour heavily for this look just because my eye is so dramatic, but I'm going to do a little bit. So I'm going to be going in with this BECCA contour brush. I wouldn't like rave about it. You can contour really with any kind of straight edged brush, but I bought it and why not use it? So I'm going to be going in with a little bit darker. I'm going to be going in with Chocolate Soleil, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to put it on the corner of my brush. And I'm going to go in that same area and just really focus on the outside of my cheek. Now, don't worry if it, like, goes too low or goes too high, because I can tell you how to fix that in a second. So, once I'm done with that, I'm also going to contour the sides of my nose, just to kind of outline, you know, where your nose is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with milk chocolate, because this is a really light area. You don't want to use such a harsh brown. And I'm just going to be going in with the Morphie 505 brush. It's just kind of like a little blender brush. Just tap a little bit of product and just swoop it on either side of my nose. And that just kind of defined my nose a little bit. So that's all I'm going to do for contouring. And now we're going to do my favorite part, which is baking. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your translucent powder. It can be any powder. My favorite is the Laura Mercier, obviously. And I'm going to take the MAC 190 brush. It's a synthetic brush that I found just helps me kind of do a straight line. If you want to use your beauty blender to do this, you can. If you have another brush that like you feel you can just draw a really good straight line with, that's fine. Do whatever. So I'm going to pack the translucent powder onto the brush. And I'm just going to kind of dab it onto where I want my contour to stop. I usually sometimes bring it all the way down, but I don't really want that harsh of a contour. Like, I don't want people to be like, whoa, like her cheekbones. So I just kind of do it halfway when I just want like a more subtle contour. Now we're just going to let that oxidize on the face, kind of like soak in, let everything kind of like work its way out. So while I'm baking, this is whenever I apply blush. I will be using the NARS in the shade Orgasm. Y'all, this blush is amazing. I recently started using the new Jaclyn Hill blushes, and I came back to this, and Jaclyn Hill's my girl, so if that tells you anything, NARS is still my number one. I'm going to be going in with the Morphie E4 brush, and you can use this as a contour brush, whatever, but this is just the brush I choose for blush. It depends on how pink you want your cheeks, how much you use. I do just a few swipes. And I like to make the apples of my cheek pop. And I just kind of apply it in a circular motion, really going up on my temple because you want it all to be kind of blended all together. And if you want to add just a little bit of blush on the tip of your nose, it just kind of makes your nose look more like lively, and like that's just a little tip. And then I like to add some also in my bronzer that I applied, just to kind of make your face look more flushed, but not like super red, but just has a little bit more blood flow to the face. So, now that we're done with blush, we can go ahead and blend out this baking. You don't need any product on just a really big brush, and you just kind of wipe that away. And it just kind of defines the line of your contour for you. It makes it a little less messy. You don't have to do that if you want just like bronze cheeks and no contour. You don't have to bake it all. That's completely up to you. So now that I'm done with everything, it is now my favorite part, which is the highlight. Now, this is my first time using this highlighter. I've never used it in a makeup look that I've ever done, but I'm so excited to use this. It's the Artist Couture in the shade Coco Bling. I swatched this, y'all, and about fell out of my chair. It is so pigmented. This is when you want a super duper highlight, use this. Now, before, whenever I created this look, I just used Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop kind of together, and it was good. I mean, but I really like dramatic highlights. I'm going to be going in with the Morphe M310 brush. It's a fan brush. You can use any fan brush, but this is just the one I have. And, like, look how pigmented it already is. Like, oh my god, it's so pretty. I'm going to tap it just once because I don't know how much is going to come out. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And I'm going to put that really on the tip of my cheeks. Like, right where my cheekbone starts, that's where my highlight's going to go. Y'all, like, this highlighter. Oh my gosh. And then I like to put a little bit on the tip of my nose and a little bit right on my Cupid's bow. That was like not even a little, that was like just a little bit of product, and look at that. Oh my gosh, that was so pretty. Okay. So now that my highlighting and everything is done, my face is done, this is the time where I go in with the mascara and the eyeliner and everything else. So my favorite liner to create a winged look with is the Tarte Precision Longwear Liner. Y'all, I'm telling you, like, you can create craziness with this liner. It's a felt tip, and so this is really good that you already put the tape, because now you can just trace along where your eyeshadow already is and just swipe that down. And the felt tip will roll with your eye. Now, I'm not doing a dramatic wing just because this eye look is already dramatic, but I mean, girl, the bigger the wing, the stronger the woman, so you can do whatever sized wing you want. So now that I have my winged liner on, I'm just going to use my two favorite mascaras. I do use two mascaras, not just one. Okay, so I first start out with the Benefit Roller Lashes. It's more of a thin type mascara, so it'll really separate and lengthen your lashes. And I do this mascara first and then the second one, just to kind of give the first mascara a little bit of time to sit on your eyelashes so the two products don't mix together and just create a big mess. So I would recommend doing both eyes with one mascara first before switching. Now, as you can see, this isn't really working on the thickness of my lashes, more of the length, and that's exactly what we want because we can thicken up our lashes later with the second product. And I also use this mascara for my bottom lashes just because I found that my second product, when I wear it on the bottom of my eyes, it really runs down and kind of creates those dark circles, and it doesn't really stay on the bottom of my lash as well. But this product does really well with staying on your eyes and not running down your face. So I also do my bottom lashes with this product. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex. Y'all, I love this mascara. I found it like 3 years ago. I've been using this same mascara, like, mixture since I've been, 15 years old. I absolutely love it. And this mascara really just kind of thickens your lashes and makes them really long. Well, not so much lengthy, but it just goes over the length that you've already carved out with the roller lash, and it just kind of thickens them all up and makes them more visible. So now that I have my eyeshadow done, then I'm going to finish off this look by setting it with the primer water that we've been using this whole time. So what I'm going to do is just spray it about, everybody says recommended 6, but like I feel like it's just a waterfall, so I do like about an arm's length away. And you just set that, and it'll just kind of glue everything on your face, give you a really like moisturized look, and makes your makeup just have a great finish. And I don't wear lip product with this look just because it is so dramatic, and I'm not really going anywhere that needs lipstick, but I put a dark nude with it, I think. Yes, I put a dark nude with it with just a gloss look over it. You can do a matte look for it. It doesn't matter what lip you want to do. But, yeah. So, here's the makeup look. I hope you guys like it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to me. Thanks, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hey. Do I turn this off? Oh. This is really hard.